Welcome. This is the Enlightenment Podcast, and I'm your host, Laurie Schoenfeld. Thank you for all of those who are joining us live. We are in for a treat today, as I have my dear friend Allison Hong Merrill joining us to talk all about her new memoir, 99 Fire Hoops, which just released last week.
Yay! Thank you.
Welcome, Allison. So excited to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Such a great honor. Thank you.
You are so welcome. So last week, how has this week been with releasing your book and all the emotions and everything? How's it been?
It's been fun. It's been really fun. Most people know I don't have a publicist. I don't work with a professional marketing team to promote my book. So I do everything on my own. And because I'm my own boss and my own employee, so I communicate with myself and I know my limits. And that's the thing. I don't want to push my limits and say, hey, look at other writers. They sold 2,000 copies in the first week. So I had to hurry and do the same. I know I can't, right? On my own, I can't. And so I don't push myself to do something that'll drive me crazy and lose sleep and lose sanity. I don't want that. And so I do my best, and it has been going really well. I have received a lot of feedback from readers telling me how my story has affected them. And that is what matters to me most, because I really, truly enjoy that person-to-person connection with my readers. And some of these readers, I didn't know them before they sent me messages, but after they contact me and told me how they would tell me their personal stories, very intimate details, and then I thought, hey, they trust me. Mm-hmm. That must mean that my story opened up this communication opportunity for us to, it's a bridge. My story is a bridge to bring us together. And I thought, words have that power. And now I am friends with a lot of people I didn't know were out there waiting for the book. And this is something that's beyond my dream, I have to say. It's really, it's a gift. And I'm very grateful that people reach out and let me know. I didn't ask for their personal stories, but they share with me freely. And I'm very grateful that this has been the result of the publication of my book. Mm-hmm. So that's just the first week.
The heart-to-heart connections are amazing. Yeah. Tell us about 99 Fire Hoops, on what it's a little bit about.
What it's about? Okay, so it's a memoir, and there's several different themes in the story, but the greatest theme of all, to me, I mean, if you ask other readers, they might get different things out of the story, but when I wrote the story, I had this number one takeaway that I really want to offer to my reader, and that is the power of choice. Because I believe we all have it. We were born with it. It's a gift that God gave us at birth, is we have this freedom, we have the power, we have the ability to choose for ourselves. And there are many things we can choose. For example, you can choose what outfit you want to wear this morning, or you can choose the person you want to marry and start a family with, or you can choose, if you're really brave, to break generational cycles of abuse, or you can choose to break social expectations that are unjust. And so we all have that freedom, that power to choose. And that's the number one theme I want to offer my reader when I wrote 99 Fire Hoops. And to illustrate this theme of power of choice, I use my personal experience as an immigrant from Taiwan, and how when I came to America with really nothing. I came with nothing, just myself and my broken English. My English at the time was maybe a 3-year-old level proficiency. I mean, I could say, hello, how are you? And I have a little bit of school English background, but it didn't really help, you know. So going from that, and then I was abandoned. 16 months into my marriage to my first husband in Texas, I was abandoned. And so I had to figure out how to get out of that challenge, how to survive. And so going from that place to where I am today, I wouldn't say it's a hero's journey because I don't consider myself a hero, but it is a journey. And the journey, how I went from there to here, every step of the way is the choices I made. I chose for myself, I will not cry today, or I chose for myself, I will be brave today, or I chose for myself today, I will not let anybody look down on me and say, she is just a woman. She has no money. She can't speak English. She can't help herself. She's doomed. Okay. I don't want people to look at me that way. So I had to make conscious choice to get myself out of that perception that people see me, right? And so every choice I made for myself along the way from Texas to where I am today, and it took me 25 years. It's been 25 years. I continue to make choices for myself that will affect myself, will affect people around me, and ultimately, I consider making very careful choices when it has eternal consequences. How I interact with people, that will have eternal consequences. So for me, the power of choice really is a gift, and I don't take that for granted. Because God gave me that choice. God gave me that gift to choose, and I don't want to abuse that gift. So every choice I make, I want to make sure it's the right one. You make right choice at the time, and then the next time you have a chance to make another choice, make another right choice. And you keep doing it. And then eventually you come to the conclusion that your whole life is a summary of your choices, right? And that's why I tell myself, your whole life is a summary of your choices. So you cannot complain you have a sucky life, okay? Because you choose to be like that, right? You can't be like, why is it I don't have friends? Why is it nobody likes me? Hey, could it be you've made bad choices that people don't approve? Or, I don't know. I'm not accusing people or accusing anyone. I'm just saying, look into yourself. Ask yourself, what kind of choices have you been making that got you here where you are? If you don't like to be where you are, you're not a tree. You can move. With the power of choice, you can get out of it, right? So that's what the book is about. I know it's like everywhere. That's what the book's about.
You brought in some of my favorite things with the power of choice and a tree and like getting up and moving. There was something so strong that you mentioned about power of choice too, Allison. There were a lot of beautiful things that you mentioned, but that every choice that you make also affects those around you.
Yes.
And really taking a deeper look that, yes, I may be in this situation, but it's not just about me. How am I affecting everyone else around me as well because of something that I'm choosing to do in this moment?
Right. Very wise. You're a wise woman.
And you were saying that it's not your own hero's journey, but I have to say, Allison is one of my heroes, and you inspire me all of the time by your example, by the way that you treat those around you. You are such a beautiful example of speaking exactly to what you just said, that by choices that you make, that you affect all those around you. And you have that effect of just having this beautiful example and light that helps inspire everyone around you by what you're sharing and your story and your voice. So thank you, Allison.
Oh, thank you. That's so wonderful. So kind of you. I appreciate that very much.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you, because you really do inspire me and so many by everything that you're doing and creating within your life right now.
Thank
So,
you.
with your book, 99 Fire Hoops, when did you start or when did you make that decision that I'm going to put all of the beautiful summaries that I'm learning right now and compile it into a book?
That's a great question. So I have to say there were it was around 2006. So 15 years ago. At the
Mhm.
time, so I have three sons, and they were very close by age. They were, each of them is a year apart, right? And so when they were little together, and now they're big together. So when they were little, um, around 2005, I said 2005, right? So they were in preschool. They were preschool age. And you know, if you have preschoolers at home, at the time I would put them to bed at night around 8 o'clock, right? So tuck them in bed, and then I'll have the rest of the night free to myself, and that would be like maybe 3 hours, 2.5 hours, okay? And I didn't know what to do because I had no friends and I had no hobbies, so I would move furniture around the house for fun. And so I did that. And you know, couch is part of furniture. And so I would move couches from the basement to the second floor, and then it didn't look good. So I had to move it back down to the basement, like that kind of moving furniture. And of course, I couldn't do it on my own because, you know, there's like 2 stories. It was too much. So I would ask my husband to help me. And I said, oh, I need to move the couch to the second floor and help me. And he usually, after the kids went to bed, he will watch ESPN, or, you know, he would just relax in front of the TV. And he's like, why are we doing this again? Didn't we just move the couch like 3 days ago? Why are we moving again? And I said, because I have nothing to do. What do you want me to do? I have no friends to hang out with. I have no hobbies. And he's like, well, why don't you just start a blog? Write a blog. And I had no idea what that was. But the thing about my husband, when he doesn't complain very much, but when he actually complained, that like that one time, that one night when he's like, well, why don't you just go and start a blog? He accidentally inspired me. And I thought, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of it? Oh, so then, like, what is a blog? So I Googled, and I thought, oh, that's fun. That's like an online journal. Remember back in the early 2000s, it was like everybody was blogging, right? So I'm like, oh, I want to do that. So I thought, I'll start a blog, but what should I write, right? So then I remember, at the time, my kids, they have neighborhood friends. They play with other kids in the neighborhood, and they'll go out and play with them, and they will come back and say, Mom, you're not like my friend's mom. Like, oh, really? Oh, yeah, no, because, you know, they speak English. Oh, I don't. Well, okay, so to my kids, I was different in all these different ways. Like so many ways I was different, and they noticed it. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm just me. And I'm glad that they noticed my unique qualities. But I forgot that they were kids, and my kids were like this. They didn't want to be different. They wanted to be like everybody else. They didn't want to stand out so people would laugh at them. You're like, why is that your mom had this accent? She can't say L. She can't say R. Like, she can't say Rachel. She'll be like, there's R and L in one word. She struggled with it. Okay, why's your mom like that? Or they will be like, why do you have stir fry for lunch? We have peanut butter jelly sandwich. You know, like they're cool, and we're eating rice. And so my kids were embarrassed, and that's when they stopped speaking Chinese with me. Right. So I continued to speak Chinese with them. They would answer in English because they wanted to be like their friends. But the thing about that is I continue to be me. I would never become like their friends' mothers, right? And so I thought, how am I going to help my children understand there are things I cannot change? There are things I cannot change. I'm always going to be darker than their friends' mothers, right? I might forever have this accent, right? And I might forever have the very, very deeply set traditional Chinese conditioning of social bonds, rituals, expectations, what you do, what you don't do to be a good person, because I was conditioned that way. It's the culture. You take me out of Taiwan, you can take Taiwan out of me, kind of thing, right? So then I thought I had to help my kids understand this. So I decided for my blog, that's what I was going to write about. And then I thought, I just turned my blog into a book, right? And so, Lori, I just spent the last 10 minutes telling you why I started writing, but that's how it started. I'm like, this is going to be a legacy project that I'm going to pass down to my children and maybe their children, and so they will understand. Once upon a time, I was very embarrassed by my mother, but now I'm very proud that my mother is not embarrassed or ashamed of who she is. And that gives me pride in who I am, because my kids, after all, they are half of me, and my grandkids will be a quarter of me, and I will always be inside of them, even though the percentage will go smaller and smaller. Eventually it will just be like almost not existent, but I will always be there in them. And I don't want them to ever feel embarrassed to say, I am half Chinese or I'm a quarter Chinese. I'm very embarrassed about that part. So let's not talk about it. I don't want that to ever happen. And so that's originally why I started writing the book. And while I was writing, I thought, hey, there were some lessons, there were some themes in the story that might be helpful to others, because you know how when you're writing and you need to get feedback from other people, right? So I send out the manuscript for feedback, and people will be like, oh my gosh, is this a true story? You really need to publish it because so many people can be inspired and this and that. And so I received this feedback and I thought, it can help somebody, right? It can help somebody. That wasn't my intention. My intention was to help my kids, not somebody else. But apparently it has that value, right? And people thought it was a gift. And so then I decided to pursue national market to publish the book, instead of just keeping it in your genealogy and then you just pass it and you just staple it together, right? You staple the pages, like, here, it's my gift to my kids, right? So now it's a book. And it's my humble offering, I have to say, a very humble offering, because I wasn't set out to go and preach to people and say, this is what you need to learn from me. No, this is my like I said, a very humble offering of my imperfections. Because if you read the book, you will know I'm not the glorious savior of the world. No, I'm not. I'm a very flawed person. And it shows in the book, in the character, of the mistakes I made and the selfishness of me. And anyway, read it to find out how I'm not a good person. But it's okay. It's okay. It's just me sharing my story, and hopefully it will resonate with some readers and help them to find what they're looking for in the story.
Did you find, Allison, when you were first starting the blog and then sending it out to readers and betas, that you connected even more to yourself as you continue to allow yourself to put your thoughts and your heart on the page?
Yes.
What was the hardest part?
The hardest part
about writing 99?
Oh, about writing? Okay, so Lori, this question, you asked the wrong person. Writing,
no,
there's no easy part. The whole thing is just hard because I have a reading disorder to begin with, right? I struggle with reading, and so writing is equally hard as reading. because they're connected, right? If you can't read well, you can't write well. But the thing about reading, I don't know how other writers do it. Maybe someday I will interview you and you will tell me how you write, what the writing process is like for you. So for me, I'm a very visual person, and I've done some research, and I've discovered that some people with dyslexia, that they can see in their minds, they can see images very vividly. I'm like, oh, that's me. Because the hardest part for me when it comes to writing is, of course, I struggle with English. English is not my native tongue. And so that's the hardest part for me, is to how to tell the story with English, in English. But then I know that's not really what you're asking, right?
This is perfect.
The hardest part is I would have so many scenes, like a movie. I will see my own life. I remember my own life in scenes, in images. And I can remember sounds and touch. I can remember sensory details. I don't want to say 100%, but very, very clearly. And I don't know if it has anything to do with my reading disorder, but I see really clearly and I remember very clearly, but they were scattered. Like these pieces of images, like they're fragments in my mind. And so the hardest part for me is to gather them and put them in a box. And the box, there's a label outside of the box that says first draft, right? So I put all the images, a memory into this first draft, and then I had to reorganize them into a flow, a very cohesive narrative, so that when people read the final draft, they would feel like they're watching a movie. Right. And that's my goal, is I want people to be able to read the book and say, yeah, I just watched a movie. It's great. Mm-hmm. Right? Okay, that's the greatest challenge for me, because I'm not a screenwriter. I'm not a writer after all. But anyway, I just like to organize, because there's so many different details I want to put in there, but you can't put everything in there. You have to put the important or relevant information in it. So that's the hard part, is to organize it and then disregard other memories that have nothing to do with the story, but they're precious too. So what do you do with them? That kind of thing. Yes. That's the hard part.
I love that answer so much, because I resonate and relate to it so much. I'm very visual too. So like the piecing together, like the puzzle pieces of like, I have all these beautiful, colorful images. Now, how do they connect, and what goes in what order, and your babies. So let's talk about that. Where did you put the pieces that you didn't end up putting in 99 Fire Hoops? Did you save them in a folder, or
yes, I did. Like? Yes, I did. I saved them in a folder, hoping that someday I'll be able to use them for essays, for other spec pieces, or to put them in another book. Because one thing about writing memoir is that you can write several memoirs, because the older you live, like I'm pretty old, so the older you are, the more stories that you have acquired, and this is your life experiences, right? So something that happened to you, for my past 50 years of my life, I have lived through so many things, and all these things could be one book after another book. And so what I'm saying is, all these memories, the images that I put, like I put out of the box to put aside to wait for future use, I could use them for another memoir, or I could use them for a novel, or I could use them for this and this and this, right? So they're never wasted. They're a great resource. It's like, what do you call it? Your stuff that you put in your pantry, that you can snack on when you're working, or you can take them with you when you're hiking. They're not just sitting in your pantry to rot. They have their purpose. And so I think that's the same with the stuff that I put into a folder and said, I don't know what to do with this right now, but someday I will know what to do. So
I love that. You are a grandma now, which is amazing because you are so young and vibrant, but you're a beautiful grandma. How
thank
has
you.
that changed your perspective on life, having a new baby around in your house?
Yes. Okay, Lori, I have to thank you for this meaningful question, because I feel like when you have, so your life, your own life, you are the first generation, right? As you know it. When you have a second generation of life entering your first generation life, so say you have children, you become a parent, that is your second chance to start all over, to learn and to grow. And when you become a grandmother or you become a grandparent, that's your third chance to start all over, to learn and to grow. And then you're saying, well, to learn and grow about what? Okay, this is the thing. Because we don't always do everything right the first try. We don't. Because we're imperfect humans. We make mistakes, we fall short. And so you might have done something stupid. Oh, no, not you, me. You know, I would have done, I'd done something stupid when I was a teenager, or I had a bad attitude, and I'd done things that I regret, and then, now. But that's in the past. Having children is your second chance to start your life again, because you have a new extension of you, right? So you get to start all over again. And then with the grandchild or with grandchildren, it's that you get the third chance to start all over again what you had done wrong as a parent. Because I'm not a perfect mother. I made mistakes when my kids were little. And that's because I was a young mother and I had no mother. My mother passed away when I was young. So I had nobody to turn to for advice, for help. And so I had to figure it out. I had to explore motherhood all on my own. So I made a lot of mistakes. So, but I couldn't go back and fix them. I couldn't, because life goes on. But the beauty of life is that as it goes on, it keeps giving you gifts. And grandchildren are the gift, the third chance that you get to redo it, right? And so you're like, oh, you've been given a second chance. You've been given the third chance. And the repetition of doing it all over again is this. Repetition is the mother of all learning. That's how we learn. That's how we learn to become better, right? And who are the better teachers in life than children? No one. And so when you become a mother, when you become a grandmother, you have the best teacher at home to teach you how to be loving, how to be selfless, how to be caring, how to be nurturing, how to be kind. And these children, these precious souls, they come to you to help you learn. And you keep doing it one generation after another. And how can you not be grateful, right? And so, I mean, grandbabies are cute. Yes, they are. They will grow up to be people. And people, one thing about people is this. People are people. People are imperfect. And so one day, your beloved grandbabies are going to make mistakes too. But you know what? Mercy, God's mercy is everywhere. You will have the greatest joy to know that God loves your grandchildren, your children, grandchildren. He loves every one of them, and He is willing to give them the second chance, the third chance, the same way that He gave you. And that is the circle of life. And being able to witness that, to me, is the greatest gift of all. That the entire universe, life is a universe of God's love. That's all it is. So when people hate Asians, when people hate Blacks, when people hate Jews, I don't get it, because Don't you know those people you hate? They are other people's children. They're other people's grandchildren. They're people who actually really love them. So if you hate them, you tell them to go back to where they come from, but they come from here. They come from love. All of us are here because of love, right? And I know our visit is rated G, so I'm not going to get into it, but you know how babies come from? They come from love. Two people in love, right? So that's why we call it the actual act, love making, because we make love and then babies come. And so I don't understand where the hate come from. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm Asian. There's no reason for you to hate me because I love you. How can you hate people who love you? I just don't get it. Right? But that's just me. Lori.
I love you so much, Allison, because I am right there with you where I love people and I know that you love people.
I do.
And so I'm wrapping you in lots of love from my corner to yours because people are amazing. We are amazing and radiant and beautiful creatures and humans that each can learn so much from one another.
Yes.
If we just allow ourselves to listen with an open heart and just try to understand where the other person is coming from. Like there's so much that we can learn.
Exactly. I agree.
I was just smiling the whole time. For those who are listening in on the podcast, I was just smiling the whole time that Allison was sharing that as we're talking about multiple generations of love and just creating memories and family and trying again, as well as from my mama heart to yours of not growing up understanding what being a mom is and trying to figure it out on your own. I'm sending so much love to you, Allison, as there's always trials and errors.
Yes.
But you can learn from it. If you're open and willing to learn, there's always an opportunity to try again.
Exactly. I agree.
Mm-hmm. We're going to go to the inner child question segment. Are you ready?
Okay, I don't know what it is, but let's go.
It's our fun segment, Allison, that we talked about. Okay.
I like fun segments.
Other than writing, what are a few other things that you like to do that's creative?
I always tell my husband this, and he's very worried. I said, hey, if writing doesn't work out for me, I want to go back to school and learn how to be an interior designer because I can see things, okay? Mm-hmm. But I can only see things that exist. I cannot see things that don't exist. For example, some people, they can go into a construction site with frames, the roof and just the frame, not the actual walls or the roof or windows, nothing, but just the skeleton. And they can see the future living room, or they can see the future kitchen, or they can see the future staircase. I can't, because they're not in front of me. I can't see them, right? But I can see furniture. That's already, if there's furniture in the room, but they're in the wrong place, I can see it. I'm like, oh, that couch shouldn't be there. Or the painting should move because the color is wrong on that wall. Or the carpet is the wrong texture. Or if I can see it, I can make it better. Or I can make it look better, right? So I tell my husband, like I said, writing doesn't work out for me. I want to go back to school. Like, don't go back to school. Okay, I go back to school. I have a student loan, but this is probably, we shouldn't talk about it on the podcast. I'm just, learning is not cheap. Oh my gosh, education costs you. And anyway, interior design.
Mm-hmm. I love it. It's an investment into your future when you learn.
Yeah. Okay, Lori. Let me just say a little bit more about that. So remember, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Many years ago, there was a program in the church. It's called, not a program. It's like what do you call that? Visiting teaching, right? Mm-hmm. So the women in the church, they would have assignments like to go visit their neighbors or visit the other women in their ward, and they would go visit them in their home. Oh my gosh, it was like I had to have self-control when I went on those assignments to visit other women in their homes, because I wanted to arrange their couches. I'm like, your couch shouldn't be here, okay? Your couch should be in that corner, and you need to move your coffee table right here, and then you need to put a vase right here, and the flower should not be pink, it should be blue. Can you see it? Right? So I struggled for so many years, like trying not to be that kind of person, but I really wanted to be doing other things. Anyway, I struggle hard. Now we don't really have the listening teaching program. We just, I miss that though.
Well,
I miss going to other people's homes.
You're invited to my house anytime, and I will let you have free reign to redecorate my house.
Guys, you know what? You really need to take off your shoes before you enter your house. Like, okay, the Chinese people do that, and I'm gonna have expectation of, why is it that there are shoes everywhere in your house? You should do this, and then okay. I know that's why I don't have friends.
No, you're always invited. Always over to my house, and awesome. I definitely don't have that beautiful gift that you have, hence why I'm like, you have free reign, because I blend things together that you probably would be like, I'm sure this is supposed to be lovely, I don't see it.
Oh, you're so modest. You know what, I know you do have a taste of really, really great taste in design, because this image of you on screen right now goes so well. Like even the painting behind you, the tone is perfect with your hair and the necklace and the tree behind. Okay, you have a special superpower. You're hiding.
You're just you definitely, you're hired. And I'm sure my husband would appreciate that too, because I'm good with saying, I can't do decorating around the house. It's not my favorite thing. And I don't love cooking. I'll try, but those are not my favorite things at all. And I'm totally okay with that.
Well, you know what? I totally understand. I eat to live. I don't live to eat. I can't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. High five.
You know how like, okay, maybe I shouldn't talk about, okay, let's talk about something else.
This is where Lunchables are great, because if you have crackers and you have cheeses and meats, then you can just put them together. It's an easy snack. It feeds and does the job, and you don't have to do cleanup or anything like that. And it's just so much simpler.
I know. I don't eat Lunchable. I eat wasabi peas for lunch. Ooh. Wasabi peas, like the spicy peas. Okay. I have a can and I just pour, like I'm drinking the whole can of wasabi peas, and then I'll catch on fire because it's very spicy hot, right? I'll be like, oh, I can't breathe. Eat some more. I love it. That's my lunch.
You enjoy the fact that you can't breathe for half a second.
But then it's all in your nose. Mm-hmm. You know how some hotness, the spice comes out of your throat? Okay, the wasabi peas comes out of your nose, right? Makes you like a real dragon because they breathe fire, right?
I literally was going to ask you if you're trying to be a fire dragon, and you just said it's like being a dragon. So yes.
Yes, I have a hidden desire to become a dragon. Hey, I just got an inspiration.
Are you going to write a fire-breathing dragon wasabi peas story?
Yeah. Okay. Well, Lori, let me tell you, I'm so like ADD right here, and I go everywhere. You know how in English you say a dragon breathes fire? Like breathe. When I think of the word breathe or breathing, I think of air going in and out of nostrils, right? So it comes from in and out of the nose, not the mouth, right? Because that's how you breathe. You breathe with your nose. But in Chinese, you don't say breathe fire. You say spit out fire. So you use your mouth. You spit out fire. And that's why wasabi pea, when you eat wasabi pea, or when you eat wasabi, just wasabi, okay, very spicy. But the spice comes out of your nose instead of your throat, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why it gives me the connection with dragon instead of vomit. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes out of your nose. Anyway, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because there's that language difference, but both languages are very beautiful. Mm-hmm. And because I'm bilingual and I have both languages in my head, and sometimes I will use them, like cross them, right? I cross them in my head thinking both are right. So words will come out of my mouth. I will think that's the right way to say it, but it's not right to the listener, because the listener is used to English, and I will say it the Chinese way because in Chinese we say it this way, and the person will be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But in my mind, I'm thinking, I say it right. What do you want? Mm-hmm. Right? So that's the challenge for when you're a polyglot, right? You like you get to remember where to say what.
I have moments where my brain goes faster than my mouth, or either my mouth goes faster than my brain. So it's like, I know what I'm saying and I know where I'm going, but sometimes it doesn't come out in a way that people are like, I don't understand what you just said there, but my brain's already confirmed that I just like gave that message.
Yeah.
But it didn't convert.
Right. Oh my gosh. I totally get it. Yes. That can happen.
Yes. Yep. I'm right there with you. Number 2 on our questions.
Okay.
What's something childlike that you like to do when no one's watching?
I like to, okay, I can't tell you why, but the milk here in America, like the fresh milk you get in a grocery store, I can't drink that kind of milk. I can't drink fresh milk, but I love milk. And growing up in Taiwan, the kind of milk that we had was powder milk. So you will go, it's almost like baby formula, but for adults, right? And so it comes in a can, and you scoop how many scoops of powder, and you mix it with hot water, and then there you have hot milk, right? And I would go, because I miss it very much. It reminds me of being a child, and being a child was always just something beautiful about being a child, because you were a child, and it's wonderful. So to take myself back to the beautiful part of human life, being as a child, I bought those, if you go to Walmart, you can get those emergency food storage type of powder milk.
Yeah.
It's not very big. To me, it's not big enough. Okay. But you can get this big can. And I would eat them out of the can, eat the powder without mixing it with water. Just eat it. It's like eating paint. But what's the taste of powder milk? I don't know what it is. It's something in it, the texture of the powder, or just the memory of scooping powder milk and put it inside of my mouth and to swallow it, to ingest it. Just the action of putting it into my mouth and becomes part of my body comforts me. I don't know what it is. Yeah. And then it just takes me back. And of course, I can't do that in front of everyone. So I have to do it in secret when nobody's watching. I'm like, eating powder milk, guys. Yeah. I just told you my dark secret.
I love that you shared that and that part of you so much.
Okay, I don't even think my husband knows. Yeah.
It's out of the bag now.
Yeah, oh, okay. Hey, I turned out okay, okay?
You are brilliant and amazing. You are more than okay, my friend.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. It's just I have weird habits.
I have never done the packets with the powdered milk, but I definitely have like put together lots of different ingredients. So like chips, I'll crunch chips into like really small sprinkly type stuff and put it in ice cream and then like put bugles in there. Like I have this really interesting thing about sweet and salty.
Oh, wow.
And like I'll just go through the pantry and just mix tons of things together. And it's not all the time, but it's definitely like kind of a mood and a memory for me as well.
Wow.
Of just like combining lots of interesting salty and sweet ingredients together. And I eat that in secret too. So
wow, that is so creative. I might have to try it.
It's visually
powdered milk and go for other things.
And the crunch, you know, because you get that crunch, the sound.
Yeah.
And then you see the colors like just sprinkling. I think it's a visual thing for me. It's so fun to like put all these weird ingredients together. I don't know.
Wait, but you don't like cooking?
I don't.
That's a form of cooking. Okay, we create in different ways. But that's amazing.
Okay, now my brain's doing this like aha moment that's cooking. And I'm like, but wait, that's not cooking. Yes, it's creating.
Yeah, it doesn't involve pots and pans and
right.
But it's just but you're creating you're putting ingredients together to create a new item of food and then you eat it. So you do enjoy cooking, just not the traditional concept of cooking. But you're a very creative person, right? Yes, you are. You just don't know you are that creative.
Okay, we will. I definitely that cooking's fine with me. If we are gonna call it, that definitely is fine with me. Just not the pot and pan stuff and like the hours of cooking stuff. No.
Yeah. We could be best friends, you know.
Come over. I am serious when I said come over, Allison. You just like come on in and we'll just like crinkle our ingredients together and eat our powders together. And it's a perfect, beautiful day. Yes.
Also, I'll convert you into eating wasabi peas.
We'll be fire dragons together with our.
Why are we so awesome? I just don't get. Well, we're just awesome.
We're super awesome. Yeah. And now we need a name. You tell me when we meet what your fire dragon name is, and I'll come up with the fire dragon name.
Nice.
I'm sure you'll probably handle the hot way better than me because the hot, like, I can't do hot.
Well, I can't do, that's the thing. I can't do other kind of hot. I can do wasabi peas, but I cannot do hot sauce. You know? Oh, I can't do that. Yeah, it comes out of the throat. Ugh.
It's a different experience. Yeah, no.
Yeah. We have our limits.
What is your favorite part of this time of year in Utah, Allison?
In Utah?
Yeah, what things do you love about this time? Here in Utah.
Utah has a lot of majestic mountains, and in the fall, the trees in the mountains will change color, and there will be a display of vibrant. It's like somebody spill a paint palettes, right? It's everywhere, and there's all these beautiful fall colors, and I think that's my favorite part of going to the canyons. There are a lot of beautiful canyons here in Utah, and to appreciate the surroundings and the environment that I'm very lucky to live in. I've been in Utah for 24 years. Yes, 24 years. And the thing about living in a place for that long is sometimes you take your surroundings for granted because you see the trees, you see the lake, you see the street, the same street every day. So you take it for granted. But people from outside of Utah, they came here to visit and they would say, oh my gosh, the mountains, oh my gosh, the mountains. And I'm like, they're mountains. It's like, no, they're not just mountains, they're mountains. And also, they don't say mountains, they say mountains. And yeah, they're just mountains, but mountains. But anyway, they were just in awe and amazed by the majestic mountains we have here in Utah. And I have to admit, I take it for granted. I'm like, you know what? They're just mountains. But now I've learned to appreciate more, because it's a blessing to be here, to live here in Utah, and to appreciate the display of colors in the fall. It's beautiful. You look out the window and you see pink, orange, yellow, brown, and all that. Very, very amazing. Okay, so I grew up in Taiwan. There was no 4 seasons. There were 4 seasons, but not this kind of 4 seasons, right? It doesn't get that cold. I've never seen snow until I came to Utah. So what I'm saying is the season fall in Taiwan wasn't like this, right? And so I thought, oh, now I understand why people will come and be like, oh my gosh, the mountains, and all the colors, right? Now I know. Sometimes you have to leave and come back to appreciate what you have. And I think that's a metaphor for life too, right? In many different aspects of life, is that you have to leave, you have to lose something to know that was a gift. How do I get it back? Why is it that I didn't appreciate it when I had it? And then it goes back to what I said earlier about the second chance, the third chance. Is, when my kids were little, they were so precious. They needed me because they were so, they were just little babies. But I was so stressed out because I had no helpers, right? I didn't have nanny. I didn't have a maid. I didn't have a chauffeur. I didn't have a cook, right? I did not live in the palace and have a staff wait on me. I didn't have all that. I didn't have a mother to call for help. I had nobody. And so when I was raising these precious cute little babies, I was like, oh my gosh, when are they going to grow up and learn to clean up themselves? But then now I don't have that. And I miss that so much, I can't even tell you it's sick. I miss the days when they came to me and they were in tears, like, Mom, can you help me zip up my jacket? I don't have that anymore. And so that's what you lost. And then you think, and you're like, oh, I want it back. How can I have it back? And God is so merciful. He gave me grandbaby, right? And so now I get the third chance to do it, to appreciate it this time around. So life is really just beautiful. The circle of life, right? I don't even know how we get here. We were talking about the mountains. Okay.
Because everything in life is so beautiful, and embracing the moments of just enjoying. We oftentimes, you were saying, we forget what is right in front of us, which was such a beautiful piece that we all that heard you and listened in today will take in. Embrace what you have, as it's not going to be with you forever, and it's but a moment. And it's beautiful, and it's a treasure, even if sometimes it's hard to see.
It is. Yeah, you're in the middle of it. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here with us today, Allison. This has been an absolute treat.
Thank you.
Where can they find you if they have any questions after the show, but also would like to learn about your book as well?
Of course. So I have a website. It's just my name, AllisonHongMerrill.com. And okay, Allison is spelled with 2 L's. So Allison, and then Hong, Hong, Merrill, Merrill.com. And that's where you can find a contact form if you want to contact me. You're very welcome to email me, and speaking of which, I should go and update my website. But that's where you can sign up for my monthly email I send out an email. It's very short because, like I said, I have a reading disorder, right? And I can't read long form of email, and so I don't send out long form emails. So I send out very fun email every month. And so if you sign up, I will translate your name into Chinese characters for you as a thank you gift.
That is insanely fun.
Yeah. Like, don't miss out. Hello.
I will put all of Allison's links down in the comments so it's an easy access for you to find her. You are absolutely amazing and beautiful, Allison. I'm so excited and proud of you and your new book that just came out. I'm so grateful for you and your friendship as well.
You're so amazing. I love you so much. Thank you for this great honor to visit with you and to share this special time with your audience. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you again, Allison. And for all those who are watching, remember as you go about the rest of your week to look around you, that there are things that are working for you, that are right in front of you. You are your own hero to your own story. Make good choices. There are second chances, and have a good rest of your week. Take care, everyone. Bye, Allison.
Bye, Lori.